So I'll tell you what we're going to be doing today so that you know and you can follow every step really clearly. We have a nice little agenda. Initial questions. I'll say some of the initial questions that you probably all have. Then we're going to have an analogy so that the concepts are easy for you. We're going to actually create a website, a new website, show you how to keep it alive, register a domain, if you know what a domain is, www.something.com, and then finally I'll give you some advice and suggestions. So this, let's start with the initial questions. First of all, this workshop is really geared for people who are vice president of education, vice president of public relations, club coaches, anyone who has an interest in saying, how can I get my club to be available on the internet for people to know what we are about and we can attract people. That is what this is geared for. So some of the initial questions that you might have: how much is it going to cost? How much effort do I have to put into it? What sort of technical knowledge do I need to have? Any software that I need to install? And finally, do I need to take notes? Because I see you all have a nice little notepad. So cost. Cost. You probably all have a club where you say, well, you know, our club isn't, you know, we don't have millionaires who are part of our club. We have limited funds, and how much is it going to cost to build a website? Anybody have an idea? Is it more on the right side of the scale, on the left side of the scale?
Depends what you want.
Yeah? Well, you want the left side, and I will give you the left side.
Yeah.
We're going to make a site for $0. Question, time effort. We probably all have lives outside of Toastmasters. If you're going to want to create a website, you're probably going to tell yourself, you know, this is something new I'm adding to my very full workload. How can I, you know, how much time do I have to invest? You think it's going to be a lot?
Yes.
Or a little? You think it's going to be a lot? Well, the answer?
A little.
A little. In terms of technical knowledge, you'll tell yourself, I am not so sure whether, you know, I'm up for this because all this web stuff, technology, I'm not sure I can do it. But my answer to you is, if you know how to log on to the internet to check your emails, if you know how to perform a search on Google, then you can make a website. So technical effort, a little.
Yay.
Software to install. You probably tell yourself, oh, I hate installing new things on my computer. How am I going to make sure that everything is running? And then it says I need a new driver and whatever. You've probably seen that. Well, no software to install.
Yay.
And finally, do I need to take notes?
I do.
Well, you don't actually need to take notes because this is going to be also available on the website. There's my crew who's filming this, and that way I really want you to focus on the efforts. So if you want to take notes, take note of this, Toastmastersmontreal.com, which is the link for the St. Lawrence Toastmasters website, where we will be putting a copy of this presentation so that really you can sit today, relax, and make sure you understand the concepts, because that's really what I want to try to get across to you. So, let's move on to the analogy. And why an analogy? This is really what I'm talking about, the concepts. I remember when I was a very young boy, like 6 years old, learning math, and I had a problem with subtraction. 6 minus 2, 7 minus 3, 8 minus 5. Why were they all giving the same answer? I didn't understand it. So my father sat me down and he said, okay, we are going to take some time so that you understand the concept, because I was getting the answers wrong all the time. And so no, regardless of whether it was 6 minus 2 or 8 minus 5, my answer was still wrong and I wasn't understanding why. So he sat me down and he explained to me the concept of subtraction. And after that, it was great. You know, you understand the numbers and you understand in your mind how to do it. And that's what I'm going to try to show to you this morning through an analogy. So let's start with an analogy. A website is like a house. Okay? You think of a house. When you think about, you say, well, I want people to come visit my house. So today, we have 3 types of people today. Either you already have a site and you're telling yourself, well, I have a site, so I have a house, and I'm wondering, do I really need to revamp my house? Do I need to renovate for people to come visit me? Or you might say to yourself, well, I have a house, but it's in shabby condition, and I'm not really sure whether it's worth it to repair or to get a new one. And finally, you might say, I don't have a house. So You are one of those 3 people today. So let's go to group A. If you have a house and you're telling yourself, well, what's in it for me? Do I really need to get something else? Do I really need to change what I'm doing? Let me explain to you through the following analogy. You have a house, someone else has a house, someone else has a house, someone else has a house, and they all want someone to come visit their house, okay? So, which house are you going to visit?
Whoa!
So, let me give you an example of some sites that I've gone to just for the purposes of this workshop. This is a fine club in Montreal called the Toastmasters Club. And they have a site. And if we zoom in a little bit on the, if you zoom in a little bit on the site, we'll say, okay, this is the Toastmasters Club, okay, free toast host, Toastmasters podcast, main menu, there's a homepage, directions, coming to members, articles, success article of the day. Here, let's click on the success article of the day and see how that, okay, day 334, meeting people, great. Let's try another site. This is the NVG Leaders Toastmasters Club. This is another fine Toastmasters Club in Montreal. And let's see, oh, okay, free toast host, Toastmasters podcast, main menu, membership information, article, oh, let's see. Success article of the day. Oh, day 3334, meeting people. Okay, interesting. Let's go to another website. This is the Concordia Toastmasters Club. This is another fine Toastmasters Club. They actually came to visit us at the St. Lawrence Toastmasters Club a couple of months ago. And we see here, all right, Toastmasters podcast, homepage, information, okay.
Can we ask questions?
Sure, but more towards the end. And actually, if I see you have a notepad, you can jot them down, and then I'd be happy to answer towards the end of the presentation. Mount Royal Toastmasters, actually, there is Shirley, who's club coach for the Mount Royal Toastmasters. She's here in the room today. So this is a site that they have, Toastmasters. So they all kind of, in my opinion, they kind of look more or less, if I was to tell myself I'm looking for a website, I'm looking for a Toastmasters Club, and I'm looking at their websites. And then I come to the following site,
Wow.
St. Lawrence Toastmasters. And this is, did anyone go to the presentation yesterday? The
Yes.
contest?
Yes.
Great. And here we have some information on how to boost your power, your power in your presentation through your body language. Introduction. Oh, there's actually a post about an interesting workshop that.
How much are the tickets?
So back to this analogy, I think you understand that you have one site, but how can you make it so that you can captivate the audience? How can you talk to your potential new members before they come to your club? The other analogy, the other example that I have is you have a site already. It's not in good state. So what are your options? My suggestion to you is, do you have an old site? Do you tell yourself, well, my house is in shambles. Do I renovate my house, or do I just start fresh, build a new house? So your options, the ones I give to you or that I offer, we're not going to go into that much detail in this, but the options are, you have your old house and you have your new house. And they each have an address. Let's say myhouse.com and mynewhouse.com. So one of the options that you have is to say, well, I will have 2 sites. I will have my old house and my new house, and people can come visit me at either house. They will both be up and running, and that's perfect, right? And you get lots of people. So this is an option. Another option is you can put a note on your door and you can say, you know what, thank you, but we've moved. And when people go to myhouse.com, they'll come and say, oh, the new site, let's go over there. So that's another option. Or a third option, which is to say, well, I've built a new house, I don't want to maintain the old house. Let's just get rid of the old house, and let's take the address, myhouse.com, and let's make it so that people, when they go to myhouse.com, they're coming to your new house. And this concept is similar to a telephone number, right? you have a phone number, you move houses, you keep the same telephone number, and you tell Bell, can you make sure that when people call, they don't, the phone over there doesn't pick up, it picks up at my new house? It's the same concept. You have an email, a domain address, myhouse.com, that you probably already have, you have a site, and you say, I like this address, I want people to continue going there, but when they go there, that they show up at my new doorstep. So that is what I suggest to you if you have a site that you like to just simply get rid of and start fresh. And there you have your second group of people, and then the third group of people is do I have a house? Actually, how many people here don't have a website yet? Great, all right. So you know what? We will today make a house for you. Okay, so how about yourself?
Rosalind Small.
Rosalind.
Yes,
And,
we have just created the Simple Thought Inspirers, and the PR person is not really available. So as VP Education, I decided I want the club on the site because people are asking us about it.
Okay, great. So let's do a site for you. I'm actually going to give myself a challenge this morning. We are going to create a new website for your club right now in front of everyone, and in the next few minutes. Okay, in the span of this workshop, we're going to make a website that you can come back home to and say, hey, I went to the Toastmasters District 61 conference and I came back with a website.
Nice.
Good, great.
And the notes will be in the presentation notes?
Yes, indeed. Well, everything is being taped right now, and this presentation we will put on the website.
Okay.
And in fact, if I can suggest if you have notepads, there are some notepads available as well, but right behind Shirley. If you want to leave me your email address, then I will send you an email as soon as the presentation is up on our website. So that way you know when to come and go and check for the presentation. Sounds good?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So creating a new website. This is, you see the big arrow because this is really the meat of the presentation, how to actually create the site. And for that, we're going to do it in steps. Blogger. I'm going to introduce you to the concept of Blogger and explain to you why I feel it's a platform that is going to be effective for you with your website. I'm going to talk to you about pages and posts. Let's just actually go back to the St. Lawrence Toastmasters website. What you see here on the right-hand side, the picture of Pietro, this is all posts. In other words, it's news that you want to convey to people on a regular basis. And on the left-hand side, whoops, what happened there? Okay, and on the left-hand side, we have pages. So for example, come meet us, etc. So I'm going to talk to you in more detail about the concept of pages versus posts. Then we're going to, having created the basis for the website, we're going to have page elements that we're going to arrange, and then template design. And that is, I think, where everyone is going to say, wow, I like Blogger. So let's talk about Blogger. When I created my first website 16 years ago, that was the old days of HTML. And what that meant is if you wanted to build your house, you needed to get the tools to build your house. You had your hammer, your drill, everything. The hardware so that you could build your house, and you had to know, I want my window here, I want it this big, and the chimney has to be that on that side, etc. And if you wanted to all of a sudden change your window, you had to redo your site, tear everything down. The advantage of Blogger is you can say to yourself, I'd like Blogger to pick a house that looks this way, or a house that looks that way, or a house that looks this way, or a house that looks that way. In other words, Blogger is going to just remove this whole concept of HTML, this whole concept of saying, well, how do I do this technically? And it's going to simplify it for you, and instead it's going to tell you what kind of house do you want, and we'll build it for you. And that is the advantage of Blogger. So let's start with Rosalind, is that it? That was your name?
Rosalind.
Rosalind,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
what is the name of your club site?
My club site?
Sorry, your club.
Okay. Saint Lazare, SAINT hyphen LAZARE.
Okay.
Inspires, INSPIRERS.
SBIRERS. Okay. So you know what? Let's create a Google email and Gmail account. Have you heard of Gmail?
Yes.
Okay. So let's create a Gmail account for you. So you go to Gmail and you say to yourself, well, I don't have an account. Well, there's a button here that says create an account. So let us create an account for your club, okay? So we're going to say Saint Lazare Inspires Toastmasters Club. And you'll see here, this is really geared for individuals. What's your first name, what's your last name? But we're actually using this in terms of the, sort of the club identity, the club being an entity. So first name, we'll just say St. Lazare Inspires, last name, Toastmasters Club, and desired login name. Let's try St. Lazare Toastmasters. How does that sound? St. Lazare Toastmasters?
No, I rather Inspires.
Okay, let's try St. Lazare Inspires at gmail.com.
Yes.
Let's see if it's available. And St. Lazare Inspires is available. So that we are going to create now an email address called St. Lazare Inspires at gmail.com. Choose a password. Let's try district. Sorry?
Rosalind.
Yes. Oh, okay. Rosalind,
SELYN.
Okay, ROSELYN. And it's good when you create a password to not use something that's easy to look up in a dictionary, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2011
Yes.
and an exclamation point.
Making it strong.
That way it makes it a little more complicated for people to try to hack your password. So ROSELYN let's try again. ROSELYN 2011 exclamation. And security question, you can say, okay, what was let's see, who was the keynote speaker at, District 61 conference?
Spring.
Yeah.
Hint. Gregory. And then, no. Hint. He's Coral. Hint Coral, okay?
Oh, hint Coral.
So the answer is Gregory Charles. And recovery email. If you forget to log in, if you forget the password for your site, it's going to say, well, I'll send you the password and another email. Would you like to give me your another email address that you can send it to?
ROSE
Yes.
813
813
LYN
LYN
at yahoo.com.
at yahoo.com. And we are located in Canada.
Yes.
Word verification, just to make sure that you are a human. And terms of service, which we have to accept, otherwise we can't move on.
Okay.
So if all goes well, Gmail will say congratulations, your email account has been created, and then with this email account we can go create our blog, because basically Blogger says, I'd like to know who you are so that when you log in again we can talk, and if there's a message, something that I have to tell you, then I can tell it to you by sending you an email address. Sending you an email to your address. So that's the concept of Gmail and Blogger. In fact, Blogger, let's just go quickly to this other window, Blogger. Blogger is created by Google. So Gmail is created by Google, Blogger is created by Google. They work nicely together. And if you know Google, they're pretty big, and that means that they take care of Blogger pretty regularly. And that's an advantage for you, because if you're looking for help, etc., there are a lot of resources available on Blogger to help you out. So let's just go back to that window, and it says here, yes, congratulations, your email has been created. Show me my account. And there you go. You have St. Lazare Inspires at gmail.com that you can use for people who want to write to your club. And then here already there's the Gmail team that's saying to you, welcome to Gmail. So with that, let's go to Blogger and let us try again to log in using this newly created email address, St. Lazare Inspires at gmail.com and ROSELYN 2011 exclamation point, sign in. Great, sign up for Blogger. This is what we are here for. We're going to have a few initial questions. So for example, it will say, what do you want us to display if you add new posts to your site? And I'll say, well, it was created by the St. Lazare Inspirers. So that's what it's going to display. Gender, let's say other, because we don't know if the next person who's going to inherit the site is going to be. So we'll just say other, and accept the terms, because otherwise we cannot advance. So here, we're now creating a Blogger account. We had created a Gmail account, now we're going to create a Blogger account. So with the Blogger account, we're going to say St. Lazare Inspires and retype address. Okay. Enter a password. We'll use the same. Roslyn 2011 question exclamation point. And display name St. Lazare Inspires. Email notifications, if you want to receive emails from them. I say no. Birthday. When was your club founded?
The 19th of April 2010.
Okay, let's use that then. 19/04/2010.
Yeah.
Word verification. To show once again that you are a human. And accept the terms. So now a blog has been, a blog account has been created. This here is the dashboard for Blogger. Now you have to remember, Blogger is really, it's not meant for clubs, it's really geared for individuals. So you can say, hello, I am John Doe, or I am Roslyn, and it's really meant for you as a person. But we're using the Blogger platform instead for you as a club. So some of the things that you'll see are really geared for persons, but we'll put that aside. So for example, here it's saying to you, well, maybe you want to put a picture of yourself. Maybe you want to say what you like, what your hobbies are. Maybe you want to find out, add things that are interesting to you. For example, blogs I'm following, Blogger Buzz, etc. These are things that are really geared for you, the individual, but since we're not using that, we'll skip over that, okay? And what we'll do instead is we'll focus on creating a blog. So there's a button, create your blog now. And it says, well, we need to just make sure, oh, I'm sorry. This is, this is unexpected because it's saying we need to make sure that, that we're going to verify your identity. So I'll actually have Gmail give me a call. And it'll send me a verification code to me. So, and I am going to take my phone out, and that way we can hear it ring. This is
It's a pretty new feature, right?
yeah, I think the thing is I did a few dry runs with other sites, so it's probably saying, hey, you did 2 or 3 other blogs, and so we just want to make sure that everything is kosher. So let's try that. Okay, so call my phone with verification code. Enter your code. So we'll see if it rings right away.
Yeah, it's pretty quick normally.
Yes.
Maybe we can take the question while we have this.
Certainly. Well, we're waiting, yes.
Well, one is, then a quick point is, if it's a Google account, is there any payment for a Google account? That's
So
free?
Google accounts,
Yeah,
Gmail
it's free.
accounts are free, and a Blogger account is also free.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
do you normally, do most clubs use the free host, don't they?
Your question is, do most
Toastmasters.
clubs use free Toast host?
Yes.
It depends. A lot of some other people have told me that they have used something called Easy Speak, which is another platform for making their websites. And I
Do
actually,
you know which is best to use?
I'm sorry.
Do you know which is the best
Yes.
system?
Your question is which is the best to use. My suggestion is Blog,
This one.
and the reason is because Gmail, Google, I think they try to make things simple. Yes.
Easy Speak is not a website creation, it's a hub management tool.
Okay.
It's, it could be incorporated into a website,
Okay.
like as part of it,
Mhm.
like a link to it, but
Right.
it is not the main club website.
Okay. Yes.
Do you have any equivalences for French websites?
In fact, Blogger is also available in French. So
Oh,
you
it
just
is?
choose your platform in French, and then it's just the content, really.
Okay. Great.
Back to the concept, is Blogger is going to help you build a house,
Okay.
but it's not going to put the furniture inside.
All right.
So the furniture, you can really tailor it to your taste. So you can have your text in English or in French.
I think that in your profile, just select your language, okay?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
that
In your
changes.
profile, you can select your language, and then it will normally offer you an interface that is in the language of your choice.
Alex,
Yes.
when I had that verification, I put the 1 before the phone number.
One. Okay.
No, this is the code, so I think you get.
Oh,
You
you
gotta
know
go
what?
back.
I'm sorry. I typed my wrong telephone number. Someone is saying hello. What is that? Okay, let's try again and see if it works this time. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you, Google. 803
7.
73. Great. Let's verify that. Okay. So it's now letting us proceed to step 2. Name of your blog. I would say Saint Lazare Inspires. But you know what? When somebody goes to your site and sees Saint Lazare Inspires, maybe they might say, well, what does that mean? So we'll add Toastmasters Club.
Right, yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll see. We'll try once again to see if Saint Lazare Inspires is an interesting address that might be available to you. St. Lazare Inspires.
It's just a simple
And so
Mhm.
we check availability, and it tells us the blog address is available. That's great. And so what it will do is Blogger will create a URL for you, a domain address that says http stlazareinspires.blogspot.com. So we'll continue with that.
Is it possible to change these addresses after?
Yes, well, what you can do is you can kill that one and start with a new one. Not a
Okay.
problem. As long as it's available,
Okay.
then you can trial and error, I guess, for whatever site. Let's say you misspelled it the same way that you put in the same way I put the wrong telephone number. Now, at step 2, it's asking you for a starter template. This is what I was showing you earlier. What kind of house do you want? Here are different templates that you can choose from. So let's choose the watermark template because it seems, nice. And actually, tell me a little more about your club. Who do you want to try to attract? Like, would you say we want to attract more business people? We want to attract
people from the community because we're off the island of Montreal,
Okay.
and most of the people in our area are business owners, CEO, traveling people,
Okay. So you want? Well, let's use a watermark because it's a more general sort of club. It's not. I'm sorry. It's a more general sort of a template.
Okay.
And let's look at this famous next step, which is your blog has been created.
Yay.
All right. So in fact, if you want to start posting, we'll go back to this concept of pages versus posts. Pages have static content, and posts have dynamic content. So an example of static content that you might have on your site is club details, who we are, where we are, when we meet.
Yeah.
You might have membership information. How do you become a member? You might have meeting roles. This is the agenda of a typical meeting. This is the role of the secretary of the evening. This is the role of the Toastmaster of the evening. You can put all that information because it's static. In other words, you put it there and you don't have to change it on a regular basis. Posts, on the other side, are more dynamic. This is, for example, to make announcements. Our club is going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary. This is where we're going to post it. That's something dynamic.
Charter party.
New members, for example, if you want to say, welcome to
Yes.
John, who's become a new member, etc.
Nice.
Or you might have summaries of meetings if you'd like. You can really do as you wish on your website. And the importance is to make sure that you understand the concept of pages versus posts. And in fact, I will show you now an example of, we'll start blogging, and we'll start with a first post for the website.
Okay, we have just celebrated our first anniversary.
Okay, great. So we'll write that in. Welcome to our first post. And welcome to our brand new club website. We are presently at the District 61. Whoops, something. Sorry. You know what? Please close your eyes for just a second. Because something. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to just. Okay. Let's start again. Welcome to our brand new club website. We are presently at the District 61 Spring Conference, attending a great workshop given by Alex Chan entitled, Your Club Website Created, Revamp It, Breathe Life Into It. A big hello from all our fellow Toastmasters in this room. Stay tuned for our next post where we will include a picture.
Some paper.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we're going to publish, and we're going to publish this post.
So can we put the picture right now?
That will be. Stay tuned for the next post where we will be putting a picture.
Okay, good.
So let's view the post. Everything okay?
Oh, my
St.
God.
Lawrence Toastmasters Club, welcome to our first workshop. And here's what we wrote. And everything else here, I told you earlier, we're going to have page elements and template designer. Think of your house as Blogger says, here's your house, it comes with a chimney, it comes with a garage, it comes with windows, 3 windows, and you say, well, I don't need a chimney, so maybe I can get rid of the chimney, and I don't need a garage, so maybe I can get rid of the garage, etc. That's actually what we're going to do a little bit later, but this is just to let you know, on the right-hand side, that's what it's showing you right now. It's the chimney, and the garage door, etc. So followers, just to let you understand what followers is when people when you want to follow other clubs or other sites, you can say, this is what I'm reading as well. But we're going to get rid of that because it's not necessary for the purposes of our club. About me, like I said, about me is really geared for people, but we're talking more about a club, so we'll get rid of that as well. So I'll show you later. And then finally, a post is usually dialogue that you have with your audience, with people who are reading you. So the post is, in fact, people can comment, and we'll, for the purposes of this presentation, we'll get rid of this comment so that it's a little cleaner. So let's go back to
Alex,
our blogger. Yes.
To ensure that, to ensure that the club is, because of the numbers throughout the world, can I add my club number?
Yes, of course. We'll do that very shortly.
Okay.
So that was a post, and we are going to try a new page. Okay? So let's go to new page. And this one will be come meet us. And let's see how quickly I can type. Oh no, you know what? I just wanted to explain to you that I'm using a macro so that it types everything fast for me.
Okay.
And actually I opened the wrong macro, which is retyping what I did for the post. So as soon as this macro is finished, we'll start again with the other macro, which was the one here. Would you like to know more about Toastmasters? Then why not come meet us? By seeing how the meeting unfolds, this will give you a better understanding of how Toastmasters helps its members to achieve their communications and leadership goals. But best of all, attending a meeting will give a chance to meet our club members and to get a better sense of our club culture. So when, where, cost, and if you need more information. So this is the perfect time to say when your club meets.
Monday evenings at 7:30.
Okay, where?
St. Lazare Library.
Okay, and cost?
To visit?
To visit?
Nothing.
Absolutely free. Okay. And telephone number. Important if people want to call you and talk to you.
514. Sorry.
Yes.
450.
Right?
424.
Yes.
2834.
2834.
For myself.
Alex, can we put in the length of the meeting, 7:30 until, so that people know how long they're committing themselves to?
7:30 till
9:15.
9:15 p.m. Okay, great. So we're going to accelerate the pace a little more because now you understand the concept of pages and posts. Actually, for a page, you need to click somewhere to get to the page. So Blogger says to you, do you want your post to be on the right-hand bar, or do you want it to be a navigation bar at the top? So we'll pick the concept of tabs, and we're going to save and publish. And let's view the page.
Nice.
Come meet us. So you see, now we have the home page, come meet us page, and we have the information here on how to come and meet us. Let's try another page just so that you get the hang of it. We go to new page. You see that, let's see here, why St. Lazare inspires. So let's see what sort of interesting text we have here. If you're looking to improve your speaking and leadership skills, Toastmasters is there for you. Toastmasters can help you in many ways. Be a better speaker, be a better leader, communicate more effectively, be a better listener, improve your presentation skills, ignite your career, reach your professional and personal goals, and more specifically, our club. We take great pride in the fact that some of our regular members have been at the club for several years. They have accumulated extensive Toastmasters experience, and they are more than happy to share their knowledge with recent members. This is really, I'm telling you, you have to market yourself. You have to show to people, come to our club. And this is the sort of information that
But we cannot say for many years because we just told them we celebrated our first anniversary.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Toastmaster members. For
Okay, yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, at Toastmasters, we take great pride in the fact that some of our regular members have been Toastmasters for several years. Sounds good?
Yes.
And we publish the page. And once again, we view what it looks like. And it's a new page. You see why St. Lazare inspires. Once again, the bar at the top to show you the information on the pages that you can visit. And let's do a second post. And this time around, we are going to
Add the number.
add a picture.
Oh.
Yes.
Can we add the number?
District.
Oh, yes.
The district.
Right. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yes. I have a camera. So let us take a picture of the audience.
Oh, the audience.
Yes, of the audience. Or Rosalind, let's try Rosalind. A picture of Rosalind.
With my detail.
You just better get to
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. No, not quite. Let's try again.
Okay, let's one second. Make sure.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is to show you what you can do. Memory card goes into the computer. And meanwhile, I'll type our second host.
Live, coming to you live.
Yeah.
Broadcasted live.
So the point here is when you make a post, you want to keep your content fresh, right? You want to show people pictures, you want to show people things that are current life, fresh events. So we're going to add a picture here, and what we do is we say insert image. I am going to go look on my computer onto my little memory card for the picture. And here we are. So add selected. And here's Rosalind. Rosalind. And we can even say, let's make this a large image and add a caption. Rosalind.
Capital L-Y-N.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like this?
Capital L, no, Rose, capital L-Y-N all together. No, L, capital L, no, Y-N, yeah.
Okay, great. Labels. Oh, I'm sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. Add a caption. Rosalind. And publish post. Now we can view the post. And let's see how that shows up. Our second post. This is our second post. Here's a picture of our conference room. Okay? So now you understand the concept of pages versus posts. So let's accelerate the pace a little more. Add page elements. Sorry, add page elements. Here you can say we have, I'm sorry, let's go to log. Okay, here we are going to say we're going to add page elements to our site. This is what the site looks like right now, if you notice. You have your posts on the left-hand side, and you have gadgets on the right-hand side. I said followers, we don't want that, so we'll remove. About me, we don't want that, so we'll remove. And that's basically take the chimney, remove it, take the garage door, remove it, and I want to add some other information, so we say add the gadget, and we're going to add some text. Okay.
Club number?
Yes, our club number. So our club number
147
is 147.
9548.
9548. So let's save that. And we've added a gadget on the right-hand side. And let's see here, let's do a refresh of this page to see what it looks like. Our club number is 1479548. And that's what it is to do a website. And finally, template designer. This is what you'll probably like to spend some time on. We have a template designer where you can say, I want my template to look maybe more blue. So you click on the template that you want.
Light green is good.
Okay, light green, light blue, and green. How's that?
Okay.
Great. And so you can change the background. You can do more advanced features. For example, the blog title. Let's look at the blog title. It's a little big in my opinion, so let's make it just a bit smaller.
Alex, excuse
Yes.
me, okay, can we put the number next to the club in that,
Box.
make the font smaller and put it, and so that it can, hold the number, 1479548?
Sure. So let's make this.
Yes, I'd appreciate that.
St. Lawrence, okay, let's try that. And let's make the title darker. Okay, that's it. Apply to blog. Let's do a refresh of this. And you have the St. Lazare Inspires Toastmasters Club the way you want it to look. This is the template design, and this is your house, and you say, I want my house to be blue, I want my house to be pink, I want my house to have brick walls, I want it to have everything. That's what you can do with Blogger. And let's go back to Blogger and go to
Edit.
Settings.
yes, settings. Basic St. Lawrence Toastmasters Club. What was your number again?
St. Lazare
Sorry,
Inspires.
St. Lazare Inspires. What's your
Toastmasters Club number 1479548.
Yes. Great. And we'll save that. And then when we refresh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's how easy it is to make a website.
Wow.
So to keep it alive, you've seen what I was talking about. Fresh content, share things that inspire you, tailor for your target audience. You want to speak to them. And then registering a domain. If you want to have a specific thing about registering a domain, actually you can come see me after the presentation, because that is just like 2 minutes of your time and a credit card. Because the domain costs $10, but everything we've done so far is free. And then if you want to have a specific domain, then that's something that is simple to do, where you tell Blogger, somebody who goes to this address is going to come to my site.
What do you mean to
What does it mean
register?
to register
Okay,
a
sorry.
domain? Like, what is the domain?
www.stlazareinspires.com, not .blogspot.com, but
Oh, I see,
.com
okay.
is something that you have to buy,
All right.
and it becomes yours.
All
So-
right.
And then finally, advice and suggestions. Create a club account. Make it not your personal account, but a club account so that you can share it. You can actually give it to the person who's going to take over your role the next year.
Okay.
Tell District 61 about your new site so that they can put a link to it on your
Right,
site.
okay.
And if you need help, Blogger help, Google is your best friend. So, for example, here, very, very, very quickly, we're on Blogger. We want some help. So we click on the help, and there's going to be support here, forum, video tutorials. So here you can type a question, and then you'll find out what everyone else has been asking. So, for example, you want to embed a YouTube video on your site. You go to video tutorials. You see if there's already a tutorial on how to embed a YouTube video. And actually, on the right-hand side, there's a bunch of videos that you can see, and one of them is how to add a YouTube video to your blog. So this is really the reason why I strongly suggest going with Blogger, is because you have all this available information at your fingertips. And finally, just to do a quick review, we started with some initial questions. How much is it going to cost? Is there a lot of effort involved? Do I need to be very technical? I think we've covered that nicely. The analogy, just think of your website as a house and try to understand that when you want people to come to your house, what can you do to attract people to your house? We went through creating a site, to keeping it alive, registering a domain, come see me afterwards, and otherwise advice and suggestions so that your site is the best it can be. And definitely make it fun.
I don't understand, because some clubs are paying money to maintain, like for the license, and it's a lot of money.
Are they paying money to maintain their site? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, I chose the free option. You
Okay.
can do other things with other platforms that you have to pay money for, but I chose something that is going to be free, so that I can put that $0 in my.
Excellent.
Yes.
The $10 to register the account.
Okay, great. We'll come see me.
Okay.
And Rhonda.
I just want to make one important point for everyone listening here, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but I was on the Toastmasters org site the other day, and they were talking about websites, and they make mention that every Toastmasters site must contain specific information about Toastmasters,
Okay.
which you didn't include in your presentation, I understand, but just because I was on there looking, because
Right,
of course
yeah.
I'm researching, they say that every website, you can do what you want with your website, but it must contain X information about the organization, it must have this, this, and this, so certain things you'll need to add to your
Yes,
pages,
okay.
the links to Toastmasters or whatever, but they must be there, so go to toastmasters.org to
Copyright
get
stuff,
those,
so we have
exactly,
to-
Yes,
have to have
yeah,
that
to get that
clause for the
information.
Use of the word toast.
Super.
Thank you.
Other
Very much,
questions?
Ron.
Great.
Excellent
Excellent.
presentation.
Thank you very much for
Fantastic.
coming.